Welcome to DandS Live. It's Wednesday night. It's the midweek hump. I just realized looking at my camera that we still haven't fully unpacked from... I think I need to get busy on that. We've got other stuff we've been working on. I've been crazy, so I'll get to unpack in the office maybe this weekend. I hope everybody had a good week. We had a crazy week last week. I'm introducing Selena and Shannon, our two first NPS reps who went up as guinea pigs. It was a great show, so we're going to keep it up for the next 6 weeks, introducing the rest of the NPS reps, two at a time. It kind of lets you guys see their personality and talk with them. And in the chat room, if you guys start having questions for them, shout them out. We're going to be flying by the seat of our pants here. It's the only way we run at DandS Live, so that's what we're going to do. I want to get started by wishing, it's a day late, but my show's on Wednesday, it wasn't on Tuesday, wishing our network PEN a happy 4-year birthday. Yesterday was 4 years for PEN, and that is just fabulous for our network. So you guys make sure you wish them, get on Facebook if you wish them a belated happy birthday day, because that is something huge for us. We have officially been on the network. Actually, it'll be in 2 weeks. We'll officially be on the network a year with DandS Live. So, I started off here on a different show on Sunday night and kind of slid over to Wednesday night, and we've been doing our own thing and running since. So, we're working on projects on NPS. You guys hear me talk about NPS all the time. It's pretty much my life now. We're working on some new projects there. We're bringing all the reps in on it. We're going to have some cool stuff coming up for you guys. I hope y'all have been enjoying Rob's post this week. He's had some very, very unique articles to science, which has been his topic this week. So if you haven't learned anything, you're not reading and listening to what he's saying. It's been really good. Rob, dude, my hat's off to you. You've been doing great this week and kicking some ass, so keep it up. I'm not sure whose week it is next week, but you've got some tough shoes to fill coming up with discussions. So that's about it that I have. We'll cover some more stuff at the end of the show, so let's go ahead and get started with our reps. And they are both from the same team. We didn't pick it this way. It just happened. Sometimes it happens that way, just like it used to be. Most of us were from Texas, and now we're kind of mixing it up. But I want to give a shout and a warm welcome out to Ashley and Nicole. They're both from DarkStatic Paranormal. So, ladies, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I know Nicole's like traveling. I hope everything's going safe and you have a safe trip back home. So
everything's going good, and the trip out here was long, but it was good. So
good. And we have to poke on Ashley because she just happened to have to say something before we went live. And you know I love picking on you. You haven't had a spanking or a whipping lately, so should we call you out? Should we call you out?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely should.
Shall I bend over?
Don't bend over. Ashley decided, since it's late night and I told her to be comfortable, that she was going to join us in her jammies. So while the rest of us are dressed, Nicole,
I've got clothes on.
Some of us are slacking.
You can't see below my waist. I can go put on some jeans if you like.
With her pajama top. So anyway, well, ladies, we need to behave because I just saw Candy is in the chat room. I haven't even got to visit with her too much today. Normally, she and I are like ping, 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 ping. So it's been crazy today. So Candy, I'm sure we'll catch up after the show. It's good to see you in the room. We have got some more of our reps in the chat room as well. So I think it's great. Everybody is supporting everybody. So that's really, really good. So who wants to start off? Actually, let's start with you since you kind of joined before Nicole. And you guys can both kind of talk about DarkStatic Paranormal. But, tell us how long you've been in the paranormal, what got you into it, maybe rattle off your bucket list of places you want to visit and, some fun stuff like that. Kind of let people get to know who you are.
I want to go to Waverly.
We need to do like a reps trip to Waverly.
Yes.
Well, we have Waverly in the works, don't we?
Yes, we go next year.
We talked about it, but I don't think we planned it, have we? Or is your team going?
Our team is going.
When are you going?
Hopefully next year if everything goes the way it's supposed to.
Well, you guys heard they're trying to make it into a
A
hotel.
hotel, yeah.
I haven't seen anything more on that to look at, like, the dates and the details and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I have mixed emotions about Waverly being a hotel. It's kind of cool because you can check in and stay and not have to worry about it, but I don't know if I'm okay with them disrupting stuff there. You know what I mean?
I thought the same thing. I was a little bummed about it when I found out they were going to be, restoring it or trying to make it a hotel. I'm like, no, I want it to look the way it looks now when I go.
Right.
Yeah. But you also know, too, that once they turn it into a hotel, once they start doing the renovations, usually that stirs up activity. So it might actually be beneficial for the paranormal to have them renovate it.
Yeah.
See, and that's kind of how I am, too. I'm kind of like, well, can we do, like, part of it for a hotel?
Yeah.
And part of it just for us paranormal investigators, kind of take care of the tourist attraction and kind of make us happy, too?
Yeah. Can we turn on the light? Because it's getting dark. Yeah. I have to turn on the light. It's getting dark.
It's all right. So, kind of, Ashley, get us started. How did you get started in the paranormal?
I was somewhat young when I became interested in it. Things that happened with my mother, or I always figured that it was just a traumatic situation that happened. So it was just simple things, really. I mean, actually, I'm at Nicole's house right now, and long story short, a red resolve hand. And I know that sounds so simple, but it literally went flying across the room towards my husband. And we all looked at each other like, did that just really happen? And sometimes you really don't believe in things until you see it with your own mind. And I knew that something has to be out there. Some of it has to be real. All of this can't be fake. And it wasn't long until, someone, in our group, said that, let's do this. We need to do this.
I had to move chairs around. Sorry, you guys. It's getting dark out here, and so I had to move chairs around for the light. I'm sorry, Ashley.
You're disturbing me.
I'm sorry.
So we pretty much all shook our heads, and we pulled our team together. And luckily, we're all friends, but it's helped us keep us strong and like-minded, where we can help one another and understand one another through situations that do and do not happen. Throughout investigations, what needs to be done beforehand, what needs to be done afterhand, what happens afterwards is we always go to IHOP and then go to bed. But
It's you're done investigating. Come on.
We get in trouble at IHOP.
What do y'all do at IHOP to get in trouble?
Well, normally on an investigation, as you can tell between me and Ashley, we're all both kind of loud. Our whole group is a goofy group in general, and we're friends before that. So when we get to IHOP, we've been on an investigation for hours, and we've been quiet and not talking. So once we hit IHOP, it's like all that excess energy just bubbles out of us. And we're usually loud and yeah.
Well, and you're also coming off the high of the investigation, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been so focused for so many hours and quiet and methodical in your steps and your approaches and, okay, be quiet, listen for this, listen for that, that, man, it's kind of like, okay, it's pent-up energy. It's got to get out.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So how long has Dark Static Paranormal been around?
Almost a year.
Yeah, May will make a year.
Yeah.
And then before that, you guys, were y'all actively investigating on your own, or were you still kind of going through the experiences of, yeah, I'm kind of having something happen?
It was kind of an in and out thing, I guess. I mean, if you could say so, Nicole, we would, do the little EVPs here and there, and we for about 4 or 5 years, Nikki.
We've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years on our own, not as a group. Just we'll hear something in my house, and we'd get whatever kind of recorder we had, and we'd record it and just listen to stuff. I have family members that have passed away, Ashley's husband, who's also a member of our group, has had family members pass away, so has Ashley, and we all kind of have the feeling that they've lingered around. As Ashley was saying, with the Resolve bottle, it literally was on the center of the counter, and it just went flying for no reason. So, you know, we kind of finally just decided, you know, we should actually do this. We should actually make ourselves a group. We've been talking about it for years. We should just finally do it. And we finally did it, and I've never been happier.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like
it was definitely difficult.
Yeah.
So how many are on your team? How many are on your team?
We have 5 main members. Me, Nicole, Tony, Chris, and Tim. And then we have what we pretty much call substitutes when we need extra help or extra hands or just that extra people. They come in and they help us. That's
cool. That's very cool. So, Nicole, you know,
yes.
Ashley told us how she got started. Kind of tell us how you got started.
The first thing that I ever happened that really stuck out, even before I thought I saw my grandma, was I got a phone call, I don't know, a few months before I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So a little over 6 years or 7 years ago, my phone rang, and it's just a regular cell phone, but it showed up no data, which is really weird because it normally doesn't do that. And I answered it, and I heard my grandma's voice. She had that she was from Louisiana, so she had that very distinctive voice. And I was just flabbergasted, and I'm like, hello, hello. And I heard my grandfather in the background asking if, she had a hold of me yet. They never acknowledged that I was there. I kept hearing her call my name, and then I heard them kind of interact with each other, and they hung up the phone. Throughout their whole conversation, there was static on the phone, which is another thing I thought was real weird because cell phones don't have static. It wasn't until the next day when Chris, my husband, who's also an investigator, told me to call Sprint that I thought it was paranormal, because I called Sprint and they didn't have any record of that phone coming in.
Oh,
they had a record, they had a record of the last person that I had called before that, and they had a record of the phone calls I got coming in and going out after that. But that one particular phone call, they had absolutely no record of. So I can't explain how I had that phone call.
Wow.
But I had it. I had it, and it was clearly my grandparents' voice. And that's what really made me go, okay, I've always liked the paranormal, but maybe there's something here. Maybe there's more here than what I'm thinking. And so that's what really got me started in it.
So do you think, it's kind of funny because there are some people I talk to that are in our bucket where we've had a family member pass or a loved one that we've been very close to. And while we've all had a draw or an interest in the paranormal, we've watched the shows, we've watched the movies, that type of thing, I kind of wonder if it's not those of us that have had a loved one pass, that have had a connection with them when they've passed, that are truly in it for the right reason. And I say that because we have people, and you guys know, you man the wall of NPS, of the members page. It makes me wonder if those that are getting into it because they've watched Zach or they've watched, some movie or something like that, if they're in it for the right reason. We've been going through and doing the discussion topics, and you guys will have yours coming up too, trying to guide people in the right direction and make sure that they're doing their investigations right, looking at their evidence right, and that type of thing. So it really makes me wonder, could we logically draw a line down the middle of the NPS members and look at, we got into it because we had a connection, and y'all got into it for a show, and I'd be curious to see the types and the quality of evidence we get from both groups. What do you guys think about that?
I actually think that's awesome because, sorry, Nikki.
No, you're good because you're probably going to the exact same place I'm going with it.
I kind of try to balance it out because you have people that I think that join or make a group because they think, oh, it's cool.
Yep.
It's a cool kind of thing. And in a way, it is cool. But what they don't understand is that when you put your whole mind and heart into this type of field, and you get out there, and I know from personal experience that you go out there and you say, oh, well, nothing's going to happen, or we're going to do this or that or whatever. And then when something hits you because you thought it was funny or you think it's so cool, your whole mind changes. It changes everything that, it really does change you when something happens to you. It helps you understand better that it's not so cool to just, go out there in the dark and think you're going to catch something, or, it's just, I think, it would be interesting to see, like you said, what people would say, or, see what.
Yeah, because
which way people.
I think that there are people in this field who are looking to make it big, if that's the right word. And if you drew that line, you would definitely be able to see the difference in the people that are doing it because they've had a personal connection and they want to help other people out, and the people that are doing it just to get famous or make a buck. I definitely think those people would stand out because through the groups that we've met, the ones that are doing it because they love doing what they do, they seem to, I don't know, they seem to be a lot more calmer. They don't push stuff on other people. They're more laid back. They're more understanding. And I think they make better investigators. I really do.
Well, and I think it's kind of funny because if you look in prime example, and Ashley, I'm still mad you didn't post the picture when we were talking about it, but prime example was the picture that Ashley shared on the NPS page with the flag. And yes, it was a flag. And for people to go in and think that they saw a skeleton hand, I would have liked to have challenged them and asked, so what's your experience with the paranormal? Why did you get started into it? Why were you thinking that was a skeleton hand at first? Excuse me. And
it was what they were wanting to see.
Exactly. It was
about this on Saturday, and it's like, were you not paying attention to what we were talking about? So it makes you wonder.
Yeah, it's exactly what they wanted to see. Like Ashley said, we actually ran across that picture and that website. When we first started the paranormal, we started just looking at other groups' evidence, and that was one of them that we ran across. And Ashley said, well, look at this. And me and her both looked at it, and about the same time we looked at each other and we go, that's a flag. And we kind of just, it was so weird because she's like, look at this. And I go over to her computer and I'm looking at it, and we kind of looked at each other and we're like, that's a flag. That's not a skeleton hand. How is that a skeleton hand? And we kind of dismissed it, and then it came back around, and now that we have even more experience and we're not starting out, it's definitely a flag. And for her to just, this woman was adamant that it was a skeleton hand, and that's what you want it to be. You want it to be paranormal.
She did change it. I contacted her just for the record. We did not, down this group or anything like that. I contacted her, and I talked to her about it civilly and adult-like, and let her know how I felt about it, and that I also had, other people look at the picture as well to try to help them out. So, because she seemed very sincere that they were not just throwing up fake pics or nothing like that, but she was, she really did feel that it was a skeleton hand, and after doing more research and taking a closer look at it, she decided to take it off her website, and that it was actually a flag. This isn't about, bashing other teams. This is about helping one another. Now, if she wanted to put it on her website, and that's how she really felt about it, then so be it. But I came to NPS, and I posted that picture because I wanted to help myself. That's what it's about, is trying to learn with one another and understand things. And
well, and it's interesting how many people jumped on that picture.
Tons.
That's what NPS is about. We're there to educate. We're there to share information, and we're there to help people see what they need to be doing that, I don't want to use right or wrong, but it's for people to see maybe a proper and a better procedure. And there's some stuff that we're going to be working on with NPS that's going to help people with that, because let's think about it. What if you go back and tell your client, yeah, that was a skeleton hand?
Yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, it was a graveyard where they were at, so of course, you know, they didn't have a client to go back to and tell, oh, it was a skeleton hand, but they could have really scared a client, or, you know, and you don't want to do that in the paranormal. The last thing you want to do, at least for our group, is to scare somebody.
Exactly.
So you just have to, it reiterates that you have to double check your evidence no matter what you do, and make sure that what you're seeing is really there and not what you're wanting it to be.
Take it a step further. Look at what you guys did. So you guys started off as a team. You're new. Let's go see what other teams are doing. Let's go see what they're posting. What is the best way to learn? Go and see what other people are doing. What's the best way to learn how to ride a bike? Go watch somebody else ride a bike.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that. I mean, that's what we were doing online visually, but what we were doing as a group was we were going to graveyards. Any graveyard we could go to that had public access that would allow us to go, we were going to with our, I mean, at the time we had just 2 digital recorders, and we were just capturing anything and listening to stuff and just seeing if we could capture anything. You know, we learned a lot of our, the basic stuff through trial and error, basically. And I know Ashley is feeling the same way as I do. Being a part of NPS is huge because it's giving us resources to all these great minds that know so much more about the paranormal, and so it's helping our group. And I can't even tell you how much it's helping our group. I've already taken things that I've learned from NPS and applied it to our investigations.
Yeah, to our team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way it should be. That's what we've made it for. And, you know, it's an open discussion. And if you look at the website as an extension of that, we're trying to plug those resources. You know, like Candy's been really good about taking my photography week post and putting that on my photography department section. So you're seeing it first on the wall. We're chatting, talking about it. You remember seeing it there, but you can't find it 2 weeks later. Guess what, guys? You can go back out to the website, look under photography, and boom, there it is. There's how I need to set this, or here's what the recommendation was to avoid lens flare, or whatever the case may be. So I'm glad to see that NPS is being used for what it was intended to be used for. It was intended for people to truly come together outside of the paradrama and share resources and share information. How much have we learned from some of the things that have been posted? Who was it? Stanley the other day posted that whole article about EMFs and all the meters. And there was stuff in there I read that I didn't even know, and I've been doing this for 4 years. So you can't ever stop learning about anything in our field.
Yeah, because the field the field itself is unknown. You're dealing with unknown. You know, we're not spirits. We're not part of that realm. You know, so every day you can learn something new from it. You know, because I don't think there's a limit to what spirits can do as far as, you know, if they have the energy and they want to show you, then you're in for a ride, because I don't know what they can do. I don't have firsthand knowledge of what they can do. I don't think any one person does, because I don't think we know. We know the general stuff that happens, you know, orbs, EVPs, shadow figures. That's general, but I don't think that covers entirely everything that spirits can do.
Now, I believe that in this paranormal field, in this type of field, that if you wake up one day and you decide to say, you know, yeah, I'm done learning because I know everything. I know everything. I don't need to learn anything else. And you know what, buddy? Tomorrow you're going to miss something. Because something new is going to pop up and you're going to miss it because you just know everything. And so I thrive. I try my hardest to learn and learn and learn. I don't even care if I learn the wrong thing, because I learn the wrong thing, I do more studying on it, and I try harder and harder, and then eventually I learn the right thing. I don't care. As long as I'm learning, I don't care.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, we never, ever, ever, ever stop learning. You can look at it, it's kind of funny, and I'm not poking at anybody, but if we look at EMF meters, if we look at a millimeter, and we look at a K2, which we all love K2s, right? Yeti, they're great door stops.
Great door stop.
And if you look at the ghost meter, I mean, come on. If you're not doing your studies on what each of these do and what each of these are affected by, you're walking into your client's home and you're doing them an injustice because you're using the wrong millimeter. I can tell you right now, ghost meters are gimmicks. They don't measure anything. The K2, yeah, they're great to show a spirit and say, hey, light it up, but they don't do much more than that. They might prop a door open for you. A millimeter, it's going to give you some digital measurements. It's going to give you a temperature. It's something that you can scientifically notate and document. And I think that's the big thing right now is everybody sees what they're using on TV and thinks they need to go out and buy it, but they don't understand what it is, how it functions, how to use it, and how to really keep up with what it measures. And so that article that was posted the other day, I was like, man, that's some fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I've been on and off the reps page because, as you guys know, I've got stuff going on back here in California. So I've been trying to be on and catching everything, and I know I'm missing stuff. But I did catch the glimpse with a glimpse of the article with all the meters, and I was impressed. And it's one of those things that I've mentally checked off to go back when I have the time and read it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think Rob, and Candy, correct me if I'm wrong, but Rob was actually going to use that article this week for his discussion. I think he's still going to post it. But is that something that, Candy, we're also going to be putting on the website for a resource as well for people to look at? Because I think that's an awesome article. That's just as good as the photography stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to get included on NPS so we can have that to go back to. So if you guys didn't see what we're talking about on the NPS page, you'll be able to see it on the website. So, and don't forget, the website's national-paranormal-society.org. So you can find us there. You can also find us on Facebook. Okay, Candy's saying we have to have permission from the individual who actually wrote it. So we need to track down the author and then we'll be able to use it. But that's some awesome, awesome information. And you guys, if you've got a question about stuff, between all of us reps and all the department chairs and the directors, one of us is going to be able to find something for you. You can always find one of us online. You can always find one of us in the room. Get a controversial subject going, and you'll see all of us in there in no time. Yep. Bar us being busy at work or something else going on, you will see like a hornet's nest. Ka-ching! Everybody coming on. So I think it's awesome. So you guys, have y'all figured out, and I didn't look, and I should have looked before the show, have you guys figured out what your topic's going to be for your discussion week yet? Have y'all been assigned yet by Alan?
Yeah, I was given ethics.
Nice.
And I didn't, Alan didn't give me anything, but I had made a suggestion to him about me doing EVPs. I don't know if it had already been done or not. If not, then I would like to do EVPs.
Yes, he's telling me.
Yes.
So here's my question, Alan. Now that you've popped your lazy late butt in the chat room, or maybe I just didn't notice you. How long is she going to do EVP work? Every day? For a week? Oh, he's at work. Oh, I'm sorry. I pick on you. I love picking on Alan. Alan's my backup man. So she's going to do EVP for a week, and ethics I can get, because ethics we can cover something every day. So I guess, Nicole, you're going to have it. You're going to have it fun doing EVP for a week.
Oh, yeah. I sure am. But, it's actually a topic that I messaged him about. EVPs, I think, is a hard topic to do every day. But the challenge is going to be, I want to break it down so that it's easier for people to understand a little bit about EVPs and the scientific methods. And Alan gave me some really good ideas, so I'm going to run with them. And if I run into a complication, believe me, I am going to be messaging people.
Well, you might take a look. It's something that I don't see a lot of people talking about, and so you might kind of put this on your list, is going through the classifications of EVPs. We always hear people talk about it's a Class A EVP,
yeah,
Class B, or Class C. Let's also talk about, and if you need it, it's out on my team's webpage. I've got a glossary page out there that kind of describes it. But there's also Class R EVPs that I don't think people know about. Yeah, see your face. So go out there, get with me after the show, and I'll kind of give you a connection. But I think it would be great to spend a day talking about the classifications of EVPs and why they're classified A, B, C,
That way, yeah.
and R. Because you can also have an R, which means you listen to the EVP backwards and it makes sense. And you can have a Class A, actually they call it a Class RA EVP. So that's something else to kind of throw out there too. It's not really scientific, but it is something that people do need to know about, because if you're new, if you're new coming into the field, you don't know what a Class A EVP is. You're thinking, EVP, I know what that is, but what's an A in front of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would be something to kind of throw out there and take a look at. What are you giggling about? God.
I'm sorry, Alan.
I'm trying to keep up.
I'm so sorry.
You guys, we have to feel bad for Ashley. She's not feeling good. So you're going to see a lot of Kleenex and tissue. She's not crying. She's just trying to get it all out.
I'm so trying not to dig in my nose. I'm fighting it.
She's like, turn the camera off for a minute. Let me do this. So yeah, and the other thing that Candy's mentioning.
Ashley, you're out there. If you want to dig away now.
There you go.
God.
If you want to, Nicole, look in the chat room. Candy and Robin both are giving you some good ideas too. So make sure you're writing those down too. And you guys, and even for the reps that are listening, if you haven't had your weeks yet, my suggestion to you, and you guys watching there for NPS, you don't know what I'm talking about, so just kind of la la la. But when your event is set up in the reps page, go in and do like I did and start putting your notes in there so you can go back and find them in one location, and you can start kind of putting your days together that way. And then if you need help with something, you can say, hey, you know, Candy had this great idea on something. Can you go pop into my notes area and kind of post that link there, or, you know, something like that. So you guys make sure you're using that. Alan set up those events for us. Take advantage of using them. And then when you're done, make sure you're copying and pasting it into a document so that Candy's got it for later. Oh my gosh, y'all are being so bad. Selena, by the way, Ashley.
Hot flashes.
If you guys are watching the show and you're not paying attention to the chat room, you're missing the fun. Every show you're missing the fun if you're not in the chat room. Ecto, oh god, Candy. Anywho. So ethics. Ashley, have you given any thought to what you want to cover on ethics?
Can I lie?
Say no.
Actually,
Ashley,
no.
that wouldn't be
No,
ethical.
I have not. I have not looked into it. I have not thought about what I wanted to do yet. I kind of work a little bit better under pressure. Maybe that's not always good. To start doing things, just a few days ahead or whatever. But stop it!
I was gonna say, if you're still under pressure, is that why you're blowing your nose so much during the show?
I'm sweating. Look, just touch it. It's all sweat.
Well, you probably need to go out and look at some stuff. And you know what I would do? I would watch the NPS page, and you're going to have some examples pop up that you can go back and address. Both of you guys will have it for both your topics and stuff.
I think that was kind of my issue, is that I'm not sure where I want to start with it. I see how Rob has done it, and some of the others have done it, and it looks so awesome. And I'm thinking, well, I want mine to look awesome too. So.
Yeah. So you guys know the graphics diva will help you with your stuff. I know Eric's already reached out to me about helping him with his. So if you guys want me to help you with it, once you get an outline down, if you've got some images or graphics or something in mind that you want to have for yours, I'm more than happy to do that. Just get with me and let me know. Candy's telling you to start with appropriate investigation behavior. Is there such thing? We were just talking about cutting up at IHOP. Is there?
I know there is. We do try on our investigations to be as professional as you can. And I just laughed a second ago because I love you, Ashley, but I'm totally going to say it. Ashley has a tendency that if she hears a fart, she'll laugh. And she'll laugh hysterically. And it's one of those things that if the guys do it on an investigation and they're off camera, then it's okay. But then you have Ashley who is on camera or on the EVP, and all of a sudden she just starts laughing hysterically because she has heard someone fart. So, I mean, we try to be as professional as possible. I think there is a certain professionalism to it, but yeah, it's not always very appropriate behavior on our investigations, guys.
Well, there's a topic for that.
I disagree. Okay, we are professional. There are a little bit of a slip up here and there with, the flatulence thing, but, we're all human. Things happen. However, when I present evidence or we present evidence or whatever we have to the client or person or whatever, we're very professional, and what I show them is professional, and everything else is in bulletproofs. You can see that later.
Okay? That's true.
She's taken her own little touch to marking sounds for the EVP and the camera. Candy's making a point. Do not do anything in an investigation that you would not want caught on camera. Sometimes you just can't help it.
Well, it is not easy. Someone else in this room, in this chat room, I know you've been through what I've been through, okay? I'm going upstairs, and I'm dead serious, and I've got my game face on, as someone mentioned in the room, and I am hardcore, and I am out there to get what I can get and educate myself and people around the world, and then here it comes. Poof, there it is. There is no stopping yourself from laughing. It's just not.
No.
And then she turns around. Let me tag that. I farted.
Look, and we actually have Tim, one of our investigators. I adore Tim. Tim calls everything. Everything.
Yeah.
If it's a car, if it's a bird, if it's a car outside, Tim calls everything. Somebody coughed, somebody farted, and he does it in a totally straight, non-joking manner. He's very
professional about it.
He is. He
calls pass
everything.
gas.
Yeah.
Car outside. Dog barking in background. Actually pass gas again. I'm like, oh, really? Come on.
I mean, yes, we want to be methodical about our documenting, but maybe we need to find a different way to do it that's more professional. I don't know. I know, and I can remember, and you guys are going to die laughing at this. My very first official investigation, I went with another team, and I hooked up with some friends of mine that we were going to form our own team. And so we were going to see how this other team did things. So we go into this house, and we do our investigation. And at the end of the night, we were going to do dead hour. And so everybody that was there was going to sit in this room on a hardwood floor in a circle, and we were going to sit there quiet for 15 minutes. And we were going to wait and see what we heard, what we felt, what we saw, la-di-da. Well, we didn't have anybody fall asleep in the 15 minutes, but we sure did have somebody that needed to go to the bathroom. And they were trying to hold their gas in, and while they were doing that, it was reverberating off of the floor. So one person starts giggling, and then somebody else is like, you're looking across each other in the dark like, was that what I think it was? And then you got the one person that's like hardcore into it going, like they can't believe, thinking it's something else. And then it happens again, and then the whole room's laughing and cutting up. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're right, it's a natural thing, everybody does it. But damn, really? In the middle of, this whole quiet time? No.
We do quiet times where we sit down and do our EVPs, and I noticed that usually every time we sit down to do it, we'll get one or two good EVP sessions in where it's dead silent, we're just asking the questions, and there's nothing but silence afterwards, and it's so great. Because when you're reviewing that, that's what you want to listen for, because then if you hear anything, it's not anybody in your group, and it's great. And I've noticed that anytime we sit down to do an EVP session like that, something always happens. There's a loud bang, someone drops something, it's just things happen in an investigation, but I don't know.
So like you're getting settled, and all of a sudden it's like undoing your pants after eating a big dinner, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like comfortable. So let's see, we got about 20 minutes. What else do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to do? I kind of asked this of Selena and Shannon last week. What do you guys want to do, or what do you feel like you can do or make an impact on NPS to kind of not really make your mark, but kind of make your mark? I mean, you guys are coming in new to NPS. I don't know, were you guys members of NPS very long prior to becoming a rep?
No, I was not.
Ashley?
I was probably going on about a month and a half, maybe 2.
Okay.
Something like that.
Still kind of fairly new. So in the time that you've been part of NPS, is there anything that you've seen that can be enhanced, added, plugged in? I mean, where can you, we all work as one big unit, we all work as one big wheel. So where do you feel like right now you're being led to plug in at?
For me, to be honest, I'm not really being pulled into any direction except for my ears are open. I'm in this open ear stage where I'm listening to everything. I'm watching everything that everybody says. I see, this person has this opinion, this one has this one, so on and so forth. And so I use what brain I've got to decide what I feel is right and what can I, in that, what can I use in my investigation to better myself? Let me use what this person said, and let me use what this person said, and let me put that in there. And so that's where I'm stuck at right now is my ears and my eyes are open big time in NPS because I'm really into wanting to learn more. And so that's pretty much where I'm stuck at right now is just I have the urge to learn right now. So I can better myself and my team.
That's a good spot. Nicole, what about you?
Right now, I'm like Ashley. I'm using it to learn. Once I've learned a little more, what I really like to be able to do is I'd like to be able to help other people out, other teams if they're new coming into this and they join NPS and they want to have the. I'm doing the interview, Larry. I'm doing sorry. I would like to help other teams out and kind of give them advice so that if they're in the same situation like me and Ashley are in and just starting out with this, I'd like to be able to go, hey, this is what we ran into and this is how we can help you. So I'm kind of just soaking up every bit of information that I possibly can right now. And it's mind-boggling and confusing because it's so much knowledge. But I'm just trying to soak it up and I want to be able to help other people. And for me, the whole thing is, there is competition sometimes between other paranormal groups, but I believe that anybody that's in this field is in it, well, hopefully, they're in it for the right reasons. And knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you can help. And so if you have a team that's not doing great, if they know that, okay, that's a flag, then that's great, And so that's what I'd like to eventually be able to do. That's why I don't do a whole lot of comments and I don't post a lot because I'm still learning and I don't want to give the wrong advice to somebody. I love NPS. I love that right now I'm learning so much, and in turn I would love to be able to turn around and help newer groups out that don't know that are in the same position where they want to learn.
I think that's awesome. I think that's really awesome. Arthur's making a great point. We've got too many closed groups and too much territorialness going on, and I think that's a huge thing. I think, Arthur, we've got it here in Texas, too. We've got the great para-unity, para-drama that goes on here in Texas, and we've got, things are bigger and better in Texas. Let me tell you, the drama is... You've got to have an open mind coming into this, and I think it's awesome that we have been able to weed out the bad weeds and the bad apples as they come along. And we are starting to, put our foot to people's backsides and boot them out so that we can have constructive debates, we can have constructive criticism, and we can have conversation to where you may not agree with somebody else, but you can get to the point where you see the other person's side, which is great because when you're going out and you're doing your investigations, you might be used to doing it this way, but you remember this one person said they did it this way, so why not try it and just see what you get? I mean, we are just kind of doing some, you've got to test it all out. You've got to test all the theories. You got to see, well, trial and error. Let's see if their way works better. Let's see if I'm more comfortable with it. I know it took me forever. Somebody had mentioned to me, instead of just pulling out your recorder when you're doing EVP work, keep one on you from the time that you get out of the car to the time you get back in. And I can tell you right now, there has been stuff that I've caught on that recorder that I never caught during my EVP burst session. And I thought they were crazy. I'm like, shit, I paid $80 for this digital recorder. I was trying to start off cheap, and now I got 2 of them. But I tell you what, it was the best thing I ever did. And I would have never known to do it if I hadn't read somebody else doing it. So I think it's absolutely fantastic. You guys are coming in with an open mind. You're reading everything. You're taking it to heart, and you're taking notes. If you don't feel like commenting because you don't feel like you can sit there and plug in, that's great. But I would like to see you guys kind of asking some questions and trying to facilitate some. And don't feel like any question's stupid, because if somebody starts badgering on you, you know what's going to happen. They're going to get the rep shakedown. And that usually happens. But there are, we welcome everybody to NPS, whether you're just starting out, whether you've kind of had an experience happen, maybe you're looking for a team to come out and investigate your location, all the way up to the people that have been doing it for 20, 25, 30 years. We welcome everybody, and we welcome anybody of any belief. And I think that's been key to the success. I mean, we have over 11,000 members. Where else can you go and meet someone from the other side of the world that shares the same viewpoint as you do and get along? You're just not going to get that anywhere else. So it's been, because of our reps, it's been because of leadership in NPS that's been able to happen. So you guys need to give yourself a pat on the back. You may be new, but you know what? You're making a big, big dent here with us, and we really appreciate it. And Candy says she doesn't tolerate that behavior. Let me tell you something. Candy don't mess around with that crap.
Yeah. Well, I know both me and Ashley love being on there, and Ashley was a rep before me, and I was nervous when Candy asked me to become a rep, and I was worried, and I told Candy I don't want to make NPS look bad. That's my fear, because I don't have all the answers just yet. I'm still new to this. I know some, and I believe
nobody has all the answers.
That's right.
But, I worry about that.
I wouldn't worry about it, only because if you feel that way, out of 11,000 plus members, who else feels that way? So you're kind of paving the way for them, because right now you're admitting to the people that are watching, hey, I don't know it all. I'm new, I'm kind of hesitant about conversation, but that's letting somebody else in your shoes know, hey, if she can do it, I can come in there and I can talk to people too, and I can learn. And together we all learn, and together we all support each other. So that's the benefit of it. Who cares where you come in at? As long as you come in with an open mind, you're professional, and you show the integrity that NPS is about. And I want you guys to read what Candy just wrote. Ashley and Nicole, the two of you are a fresh perspective. I cannot be more pleased with your participation. I have to second that. I mean, you guys have really, I've talked to you guys online. I've shown you guys some support online. We've never really gotten to visit. But I'm really impressed with both of you guys. So I think you guys are going to go far. I know now I can start poking you a little bit more and kind of getting you to go in some different directions here. So, I'm looking forward to your articles. I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to contribute. I think NPS is definitely headed in the right direction. I think we've got a great group of reps. I think the department heads are kind of shining good too. So I think it's very well rounded, and that's what we've needed.
Yep. No, I love being a part of NPS, and I'm glad that because Ashley said, she's going to contact you. Do you want to do this? She's like, think of how it'll benefit our group. And I sat down and I thought about it, and I was real nervous, but I'm glad that I made the decision to go ahead and join and become a rep, because it's going to benefit not only our group and not only me personally, but it's going to benefit everyone else, because once I get the hang of things, I have no problem answering questions, because if I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer, even if I have to ask all the other reps. So.
And that's the way it should be. You should be able to lean on everybody else. Selena and I met at a conference last year, and we became just inseparable friends. We have our own team, and I've got my team, she's got her team. we're close enough that we rely on each other and we support each other with investigations. If I need an extra hand or if I need extra help, I know I can count on Sel and vice versa. And it's funny because when I recommended her to become a rep, she was like, I don't know. And now she's probably the one that's out there, all the time I see her on stuff. I'm like, damn, Selena. Yeah. She's got it going on. So, you guys will find that too, that you'll start connecting with teams in your area. And when you need some help, hey, maybe you don't know everything about, EVP. Maybe you don't know everything about audio review. Maybe you don't know everything about technology. But maybe there's a team that's nearby that will partner with you and teach you. And that's what's just awesome. I mean, and Selena jokes all the time that she doesn't have a niche. Well, she does. Selena, you have a niche.
Yeah.
Where I'll come out and tell you, okay, I've been known since I started as being the BS detector. I think Selena has that too. And it's interesting to go out with her and investigate because the two of us, you put us in a room and we're like ping pong. We're just kind of bouncing off of each other and moving forward. And I wouldn't have that with her. I wouldn't have it. Alan doesn't even live in Texas, and he and I bounce stuff off of each other. You guys will get to the point where we're bouncing stuff off each other. That's what we do at NPS. That's what we share. And if we're doing it as reps, we're setting an example for others. And that's the main point here is, you know what? You can walk in the room. You can say, hey, got a question. Somebody asked the question, before. What do you guys use to review audio? I've been using, this software package, not really having the best results with it. What do you recommend? And that's what you do. You don't feel stupid for asking the question. You've got other people out there, because I was kind of like, you know what, I'm using the same software he is. So, it gives you some input on stuff. So I think it's awesome. So I'm glad you guys are on board. I look forward to your discussion weeks. I'm going to start kind of poking and prodding. Put it on
now I'm going to get nervous.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Get with me, though, about some stuff. I'll help you guys out where I can. Candy will. Everybody will help you out where we can. If you need it, you just have to shout. Put it on the rep board and start pinging us.
I can do that.
All right. Well, we got about 8 minutes. Are there any questions out of the chat room? You guys have anything for either Ashley or Nicole? Candy's saying, I'm her right arm. I'm not sure where I would be without her support. Diva and Alex keep me motivated and sane. I think we definitely balance Candy out. I think I probably challenge her more than most people, but I appreciate her more than she knows. And like I said, we haven't talked much today, but we usually will start catching up during the day and kind of hitting on some stuff. So, I appreciate Candy bringing me on up and kind of pulling me up through the ranks too. So, this is my passion. It's her passion. I know it's Alex's passion. Alex has been a crazy little beaver lately too with all his studies and stuff. So, he's helped me out on some cases too. So you guys, you don't know the reach that we have within NPS. And yes, Bud, partner in crime in more ways than one. Isn't that right? So you guys will have that connection. You already see how all of us reps come together on the page. Ashley learned that real quick.
Yes.
I'm a little over comfortable, I think.
No, I think you're fine. We're just going to have to kind of watch you so you don't get me in trouble. Well, you guys want to give a shout out to your team pages so people can find you? We didn't do that last week, but Selena, you've got your own show, so I know you're hitting fear up.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook at Dark Static Paranormal Investigators, or we actually have a website, and it's still under construction, but you can still visit it from time to time to check on updates of what we're doing on the website, and that is darkstaticparanormalinvestigators.com. And we still, which Nikki knows, we kind of had a little downfall with the computer, so we're waiting on, was it the hard drive, Nicole?
Yeah, I have to get a flash drive. My computer that I was originally, that had all of our EVPs and all of our photos on, I broke it. I'm not going to say how I broke it because I have no idea, but it's broke. So we are waiting for a flash drive for the, so I can download all that stuff so we can add it to the website. So as soon as we get that flash drive in, the website will actually be up and running. But until we do that, we're kind of in a holding pattern, if you will, because, we don't have all of our stuff.
Yes, and go check out her website as well.
Wait, what?
In the chat room.
I'm reading. Hang on.
We're all in the chat room. Everybody's in the chat room. It's like the thing to do. So you guys check us out. You know, if you want to find Ashley and Nicole and NPS, start chatting up in the room. You guys can find them. You guys are logged on and registered with the NPS website too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys can also go to the NPS website and find Dark Static Paranormal too if you guys want to check out the website if you didn't get a chance to write that down or catch it. So,
the NPS website underneath the state listings, it's under Louisiana.
Yep.
You guys are too close for us not to try to get together and do something. We'll have to.
I know, it's horrible.
We're going to have to.
We're going to have to talk about that offline. We can get into some trouble. Bud, you up for a trip to Louisiana? We've been talking about getting out that way.
Come on down to the swampland.
So maybe we can do it. She's up for it, she says.
I'm going to bring my paddle.
Lord, I'm going to bring my whip. Oh, Alan says we need to come to Virginia. I know, Alan, we've got to get it done. We have got to get it done. So, all right, we got a couple minutes left. Thank you guys for being on the show. You guys are doing great with NPS. Keep it up. Let us know if you've got any questions. I better not see either one of you guys drop out anytime soon, or I'm going to be pretty upset. So, keep up the good work, you guys. Nicole, I hope you have a safe trip back home. Ashley, I hope you get to feeling better. And both you guys better behave. All right, well, thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
You are welcome. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors. I do want to mention the Jefferson event. HHL is coming up April 12th. You guys can look on the NPS page on Tuesday, and there should be an ad posted for that. If you guys get back through with today being Wednesday, you might actually be able to see it there. So we did want to give a shout out for that, so make sure you check that out. Then we want to give a shout out to Paranologies, as we always do with Jeremy. Oh, that's right. Selena is speaking at HHL. You guys have to go because Selena's going to be there.
So is PN.
Do what?
Kim and Eric will also be at HHL.
Pen's going to be there too. Man, it's going to be like a Penn night. I got to figure out what I'm doing in April. I need to get out to Jefferson. I haven't been out to Jefferson in a while. All right, so let's thank Paranologies, Jeremy over there. Jeremy and all the equipment. God, I've got to get my TriCam upgraded soon. And then we want to give a shout out to Scott Frederick with Scott Frederick Photography. I have got to get him out doing some more UrbanX photos. I'm kind of running out of some ideas with what he's got if I haven't already used them. And those, for you guys that don't know, if you see the graphics going up for the NPS reps and the department chairs on the NPS page, those are Scott's pictures in the background I've been using. And I'm kind of running out of some ideas. So I'm going to have to get on to him about some new stuff. And last but not least, we want to give a shout out to Blessed Bee. And you guys can go check out Candy and Alex's store at blessedbee.cc or look them up on Facebook. We definitely need to get them some likes going and showing some NPS support for them as well. So next week on the show, you know, that's pretty bad. Let me look and see who we've got, who we're going to be torturing next week, because we are going to be torturing some reps here and there. Let's see who's on next week. The chat room's all lighting up now. Is it me? Is it me? Who's on? Who's on? Next week we are going to have, next week's going to be good. Next week is Robin Max. So for you guys that don't know, we've got to pick on Max next week because he was kind of late to his department chair interview. So we're going to have to get him. So we'll have some fun with Rob too. So hope you guys have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday with Max and Rob. Good night.